Have you ever wanted to buy a citizenship paying in Bitcoin? I've been asked this video so many times ever since I was first really being open about going through that citizenship by investment program in St. Kitts and Nevis. Now you can buy a passport with Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin is yet to be determined, but El Salvador, 2 weeks after they launched their Freedom Visa program, which by the way is open for 1,000 individuals who are willing to pay $1 million worth of either Bitcoin or USDT Tether in an effort to raise funds to help with the development of the country, says Bukele. So he's saying if all those spots are filled, they'll get $1 billion. There was a lot of concerns of that visa program. It was lining up to be a citizenship by investment program, but it was kind of looking to just be a residency status. Also, that price tag of $1 million for El Salvador is, no offense, it's not the strongest passport. It is a decent passport, but it's not the strongest for that price tag. There is certainly an attraction to be able to pay in Bitcoin and crypto for sure. But when you compare it to like what you can get in European countries, for example, Malta, less than $1 million can get you a passport for a European Union country. So this is news coming out from El Salvador very recently. They've officially the government there has approved a new law that will accept Bitcoin as a donation in exchange for a passport. They're expediting the timeline that previously was required to obtain an El Salvador passport. Before, you'd have to wait 5 years obtaining residency status there before you could qualify for that. That's been expedited. The cost of the Bitcoin donation is not being specified, but something tells me it's going to be similar to the $1 million price tag for that Freedom Visa program that they've had. You can go to over, I think it's 80 countries, visa-free with the Salvadorian passport. I'll go ahead and show you there's a really helpful website, visafreecountries.com. It shows you input a specific passport that you may hold or you may want to hold, and it will show you the current status of all the countries that you can go to visa-free. Pretty cool. So here's a list. I'm just going to go and scroll through here. You guys can see it while I talk. But keep in mind, this expedited process, we don't know the kind of due diligence that is required to obtain this passport. Also, we don't know how the other countries are going that offer visa-free status to the Salvadorian passport are they going to react to this? Are they going to be closing their doors and making it not visa-free for those who hold a Salvadorian passport now? That could very well be the case. The IMF did not react very kindly when El Salvador declared Bitcoin as legal tender, and how will their standing across in different travel rights basically will be granted or taken away from these countries that don't agree with El Salvador and their Bitcoin stance. Okay, next story, we're going to talk about Argentina and what they have done. The government has now approved contracts to be settled in Bitcoin. This doesn't mean that Bitcoin is legal tender, but it is a great foundation to start. And basically it means if you have a contract that you're creating in Argentina, you have the right to make that agreement to be payable in Bitcoin, and that can be a legal document. Here's a good quote from the article here. The proposal has always been and will be freedom of currencies. Whoever wants to make a contract in Bitcoin, let them do it. And that's a lot of the philosophy of cryptocurrency as well. It's a free market, it's permissionless, it's borderless, and it's for anyone who wants to use it. There's no force here, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's really cool to see Argentina embrace this. We'll see how it continues to develop in the future, because it could go sour. It could not go the way that maybe those who are freedom-loving, privacy-loving would anticipate, but maybe this is the beginning of the global flippening that, for those of you who've been watching this channel since 2018, when I did that video, was it 2018? I believe it was. 2018, 2019, it's been a few years where I basically was talking about this concept of a global flippening where the countries that are embracing blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies specifically can facilitate a growing economy compared to those that are trying to snuff it out. And the countries that have been trying to not be so accommodating to crypto they think the leverage to do so because they have had very successful economies, so they can afford to not pursue opportunities. And the countries that are really hungry for new opportunities to spur their economy further, and they're facilitating this new growing economy that is cryptocurrencies, they might find themselves to be in more powerful positions. So we're gonna have to see how this develops. It's really interesting. Now let's talk about Solana and Ethereum. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes, he says publicly, he has dumped Solana and he is really bullish on Ethereum. Now, a lot of people are bullish on Ethereum because obviously it's performing very well, and that's great. But this isn't a video pro Ethereum, anti Solana whatsoever. They each have their problems. And I think what's really catching me up here is that so many people have already forgotten that the Solana network had 11 outages in 2022. 11. That's almost once a month the network was down, okay? And not just for seconds or minutes, sometimes for hours on end. And for all these people, these articles that are coming out saying Solana beats Ethereum in DEX volume for third day, that's amazing. But what brought the Solana network down was an influx of transactions and bot activity, and the network couldn't handle it. And the fact that the network was shut down like unilaterally, it screams centralized control. And that's not something to ignore with Solana. Now, please note, I'm not saying there's not opportunity to be made here in profits, because people don't often care about utility or real use cases or even red flags during a bull market. The profits are going to come kind of no matter what. People are not being rational. But if this activity is happening on DEXs, and that's the arena that Solana is now entering, is on-chain activity, I really hope that they address the issues that they had before. If you guys are really well versed in this, because quite frankly, after seeing time and again, and you guys watched our videos back in 2022, you probably picked up on my attitude towards Solana there. So I kind of, turned off to Solana a little bit. So I'm not perfectly well versed in the updates of that. So for anyone who's a super Solana fan and you want to let me know how they've addressed those, if they have, please let me know in the comments down below. Because if they still have those issues and they're going to be boasting that they have a better transaction volume on a DEX than Ethereum, and then on chain, that means on the network goes down, that volume is going to drop to zero. So that's going to be a huge turnoff to people if that happens again. I hope that it doesn't. Obviously, I hope it doesn't. But it's a red flag, not to ignore it. That's all the point. That's my whole point here. If you want to know if Toby and I are holding Ethereum or Solana or both, and in how much, what percentage of our portfolio they compile, you got to check out the home of the CT Club. It is at learningcrypto.com. At this point, you have 8 days to join to lock in the current CT Club price of $15 a month. If you join annually, you will get 1 month free, in addition to a lot of other perks as well. You have a live feed of our portfolio. You have a history of all of our trade alerts and the prices that we bought and sold coins. We have classes, we have tutorials for DEXs and wallets and a lot of good stuff. But the price is increasing as of January 1st, 2024. So if you've been thinking about joining, I think you should check it out now while you still can at a good price. And you'll lock that price into the foreseeable future as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.